This is a ROM hack of Pokemon Fire Red, where every single Pokemon, including yours, is level 100. Now you might say that people like Small Ant have already done this, having lower level Pokemon, but there is a difference. I would be doing a hardcore Nuzlocke. Every single gym leader has a team of 6 strong Pokemon, with items like leftovers and full restores to heal their Pokemon. All the information regarding the ROM hack is in the description with the download link if you ever want to check it out. To begin with, I hack in a good amount of Moonstones as it is the only way to evolve any Pokemon in this ROM hack. I start out by picking Blastoise as my starter, as in my opinion is the only option that makes this challenge possible. I destroy Gary's Venusaur using Ice Beams, a clutch move for getting out of the first battle without losing to its Mega Drains. My first few encounters were a Rattata, a Mankey, a Metapod, and a Pikachu. I go on to evolve all of them as I don't want to deal with any non-evolved weak Pokemons. The creator, having some mercy on the player, allowed the player to go out of Pewter City before entering the first gym to catch some more Pokemons. So I used this opportunity to get myself a Nidorina, a Graveler, and a Magikarp, and evolve them immediately after catching them. The first gym was brutal but very interesting. I start the battle by choosing Blastoise, which takes out his Aerodactyl with a few muddy waters, after which he sends in Cradily, which has Giga Drain. I switch into Nidoking to get of a Sludge Bomb to have a chance to poison it, which I actually get. I use Double Kick to weaken it a little more, and then switch into Primeape to finish it off using Cross Chop. He sends in his Omastar, which I finish off using Raichu's Volt Tackle, and his Tyranitar is dealt with my Mankey's Cross Chop. His final 2 Pokemon, Rhydon and Sudowoodo, were easily defeated by my Blastoise and Golem to get my first batch. This was the first time ever that I had defeated Brock without losing a single Pokemon in my several attempts. At Route 24, I find the best Pokemon in the game. Kadabra evolves into Alakazam, which has Ice, Fire, and Thunder Punch, which are all special moves in this game, as a physical special split is not introduced in the mod. With insane stats for special attack for Alakazam, there is no doubt for it being the best Mon in the game. Misty was never kind to me in any of my attempts, and I had always lost at least 2 Pokemons in her gym. I start off with Blastoise to get off 2 bites on Starmie for Vileplume to come in and kill the Starmie with Giga Drain. She sends in Swampert, which earthquakes the Vileplume and does not die to a 4 times weak Giga Drain, but dies to 2 Giga Drains after a full restore. She sends in her Slowbro. I take a risk by using a Leech Seed after Slowbro uses Calm Mind, but it pays off as Vileplume survives, and I can switch into Alakazam to kill it with a Thunder Punch. Her next Pokemon, Gyarados, is an easy Thunder Punch from Alakazam, and her Ludicolo is an easy kill with Gyarados' Bounce. But her final Pokemon is her tanky, hard-hitting Lapras. This is her biggest threat, which has always killed my Pokemon, so I take a risk by switching into Raichu, and get super lucky by getting a Blizzard Miss and a critical hit on Volt Tackle to finish it off in just 1 hit. To get my second gym badge, which was a huge relief, as I was very worried about losing more Pokemons at her gym. I head towards the SS Anne to fight our rival, who we beat pretty easily with our quiet balanced team, and get the HM cut to enter the 3rd gym to take on Surge. This gym is the easiest compared to the other 2 as we get many ground Pokemons to counter Surge. I start off by setting up a Sandstorm using Sandslash against Electrode, which straight up explodes after setting up a Reflect. He sends in his Raichu, so I switch into Vileplume. I Leech Seed the Raichu and then switch between Sandslash and Vileplume, as the Raichu always uses Thunderbolt on Vileplume and Muddy Water on Sandslash. I sacrifice my Sandslash on his Electabuzz's Ice Punch. This was the first death of this run. Nidoking comes in and finishes off Electabuzz, and his Lantern is defeated by my Vileplume. His final 2 Pokemons are easily defeated by my Golem. Having an easy and safe gym battle felt good. I had high hopes for this run. We continue forward on Route 9, defeating all the trainers and catching some encounters and heading towards Rock Tunnel. Getting out of Rock Tunnel, we head towards Celadon City Game Corner and get ourselves a Dratini. We talk to the perverts staring at the women in Erica's gym. Don't know what Nintendo was thinking there. Erica's gym is the easiest gym of them all. Just sweep the gym with Crobat and use Dragonite to finish off the Breloom as it puts Crobat to sleep. After getting the 4th badge, we straight away head towards the Team Rocket hideout in the Celadon Game Corner and defeat the big bad Team Rocket boss Giovanni, who is so stupid that he thought talking shit to the strongest Pokemon in the region would not have any consequences.
I was not born a Pokemon, I was created, used and betrayed me, so and alone.
Our next destination is Lavender Town's Pokemon Tower. We defeat our highly unskilled rival and head up the tower beating the ghost ladies, and also catching a Haunter on my way up. We defeat all the Team Rocket Grunts to rescue Mr. Fuji and get the Pokeflute. Using the Pokeflute, we catch a Snorlax west of Celadon. We head towards Fuchsia City for our next gym. When I went into Koga's gym, I thought he would be the easiest gym leader of all the ones we had because he had all poison types, and I had two super strong Pokemons, Alakazam and Gengar with Psychic, and having super high special attack stat, I thought they would sweep the fight, but I couldn't have been more wrong. His first Pokemon is a Nidoking, which is a simple Psychic from my Alakazam. Next, he sends in his Crobat, and I switch into Golem to take a Shadow Ball, as Alakazam does not outspeed Crobat, but Crobat outspeeds and kills Alakazam with a single Shadow Ball. Golem defeats Crobat with a few Rock Slides. Koga sends in his specially bulky Tentacruel, for which I send in my Gyarados, as it has a stab physical move Bounce, which finishes the Tentacruel. For the next Pokemon Weezing, I make a risky switch which pays off because Alakazam survives on 2 HP and fires a Psychic to destroy the Weezing. I switch in Snorlax on the Gengar and get off some licks before getting into the red and paralyzing the Gengar. I switch into my own Gengar and finish it off using a Psychic. His final Pokemon Swalot does not go down to 1 Psychic, so I switch around a bit to reduce its HP bit by bit and finally finish it off using Psychic from Gengar after a risky switch. Honestly, looking at the fight, I got very lucky to not lose even a single Pokemon in the battle, as most of my switches were very lucky, as I never got a super effective move on the switch. I go to the Safari Zone and find one of the best defensive Pokemon with the best defensive typing in the game. Chansey evolves into Blissey, which at level 100 has 629 HP and 305 special defense, which is just Ludochrist for a Pokemon to have, meaning that it easily walls any Pokemon with only special type moves. I go to Saffron City and beat my rival and Giovanni in the Sylph Co-building and go to Sabrina's gym. Sabrina's gym relied on Snorlax's survival. She had to KO 3 of her Pokemons without dying, or else she had to sacrifice herself. But she held up and survived on 13 HP when hit by Espeon's Psychic. She sends in her Metagross and I had decided to sacrifice Golem, but I don't know how, but Metagross missed 2 Meteor Mashes which saved Golem and finished off the Metagross. Her next Pokemon, Claydol, had no attacking move except Earthquake, so I just set up 6 Dragon Dances with Dragonite and finished off the Claydol to get the Mind Badge. I fly to Pallet Town and surf down towards Cinnabar Island, find the secret key to enter the 7th gym. This was the most underwhelming gym, as I just sweep all of Blaine's Pokemon, because may I remind you, I chose the Water Starter. The 8th gym also was swept by Blastoise, except for his first Pokemon Swampert, which Vileplume took care of. I go through the Victory Road, and fun fact, you don't need to battle a single trainer in the Victory Road to make through. The only challenge remaining between me and this game was the Elite Four, and the champion. I had reached this point of the game only once, and had never gone past Agatha. I wanted to craft a perfect team so that I didn't have to repeat this challenge again. This was my 31st attempt, and honestly I just wanted it to end. The first member of the team I chose to bring to the Elite Four was an adamant-natured Raticate, which was the key member of the team. If you were wondering why I would bring such a weak Pokemon to the Elite Four, it's because of his ability, Guts. This ability boosts a Pokemon's attack by 50%. He also gets the move Facade, which doubles in power when used by a Pokemon having a status condition like Burn. And also, as Raticate is a normal type, he gets a 50% extra boost to his normal type attacks. I also gave it a choice band, thus making a 70 base power move Facade to nearly a 470 base powered move. Raticate is also decently speedy, meaning he can one-shot almost every Pokemon that he can outspeed. Our next team member is our defensive tank Blissey. You don't need any reason for this, it's just our tank. If we want to think about toxic strats or outright use for switching some Pokemon in. The third team member is the Alakazam we caught earlier, the speedy super strong Pokemon with insane coverage. We also bring our 2 water types, Gyarados and our starter Blastoise, as water types are just good in general. The final team member is the Dragonite, as we will use him to sweep one of the Elite Four member, using some cheesy strats. Lorelei needed some preparation. Her Sneasel goes down to a Facade from Raticate, but she sends in her Cloyster, which after some damage calculation I had found out would not die to a Facade from Raticate, but I'd take the risk of Raticate dying, as all other plays are a bit risky of losing more Pokemon. I get lucky and Cloyster goes for Hail, and another Facade finishes the Cloyster. Her next Pokemon Glalie also goes down to Facade. She sends in Jinx, which is faster than Raticate, so I switch into Blissey and Toxic Stall. She withdraws her Jinx at 1 HP being poisoned, which was very weird but very helpful for me, as her Lapras also could be toxic, stalled using Blissey, which can later be finished by a Thunder Punch from Alakazam. She sends back her Jinx, which dies on arrival as expected. Don't know what her plan was there. She then sends in her final Pokemon Piloswine, which goes down to 2 bounces from Gyarados. I had a very simple strat for Bruno. I lead with Gyarados, as he leads with Hitmontop, which has Intimidate. I intimidate him back, forcing him to use Bulk Up on the next turn, so that I can get safe switch into Raticate, which can then sweep Bruno with Facade. Agatha was also a simple one, as I lead with Dragonite and she leads with Dusclops, which on most of the turns uses Double Team or Protect, and has only Shadow Ball as its attacking move. I set up 6 Dragon Dances and use Aerial Ace as it is a move that never misses, putting all of Dusclops' double teams to waste. Dragonite sweeps Agatha easily, clearing the 3rd Elite Four member. Lance leads with Kingdra, which only has special type moves, so I easily Toxic Stall it using Blissey. All of his other Pokemon die to Ice Punch from Alakazam, as all of them were either Dragon Flying or Dragon Ground, which is 4 times weak to Ice. His final Pokemon Aerodactyl goes down to a Muddy Water from Blastoise. We reach the final hurdle of this challenge, the Champion. I had thought that the Champion would be our typical rival Gary, but when I went into the Champion's room, I was surprised to see Sans from Undertale. Every single Pokemon of his had a custom sprite, which I thought was very cool. He leads with a Sandslash, which I just kill with a Muddy Water from my Blastoise. His next Pokemon, Houndoom, custom form of Houndoom, goes down to 2 Muddy Waters from Blastoise. He sends in his next Pokemon, Machara, which I believe is a custom form of Machamp and looks like Rylabloom. I send in Gyarados to finish it with Bounce. His next Pokemon is Undertales, a custom form of Ninetales for which I switch in Raticate, but it gets crit and dies to Flamethrower from it. I send in Blissey and Toxic Stall it to finish it off. He sends his own custom Blastoise named Blastgore, which honestly looked super cool. I sacrifice Blissey and switch in Alakazam to finish it off using Thunder Punch. His final Pokemon was Salphus, which I believe was a custom form of Salamence. I Ice Punch it using Alakazam, but for some reason I was slower than it and Alakazam is killed by a Dragon Claw. I send in Gyarados to get some chip damage and sacrifice it too. I also sacrifice Dragonite after getting some chip damage, and finally bringing in our partner Blastoise to finish it off using Ice Beam. A fulfilling end, as we started the run with our starter and finished it with it being on our side. This game has one of the best concepts for a challenge without relying on training our Pokemon to level them up. We rely on strategies to defeat our opponents. I love how all the trainers were given proper move sets to make this game very hard to beat, making it a perfect game to Nuzlocke. I hope you liked the video and encourage you to try this challenge yourself. All the links in the description. Until next time, thank you.
Yeah, it's the hippo song. It's about the hippopotamus, the most dangerous land animal in the world. Hippopotamus, hippopotamus, hippopotamus. Ow! I'm a hippopotamus. I like swimming, but I'm dangerous. If you get too close to me, I might just bite your feet. Hippopotamus, hippopotamus, hippopotamus. I'm a hippopotamus. I'm a hippopotamus. I'm fat and dangerous. If you don't understand, I might just bite your head.